Halloween 4, The Shape of Fear, 1986. Echo Artifact Release, Shooting Script. This is the final shooting draft of the 1986 parallel timeline sequel written by Dennis Etchison, not the early draft script that exists in this timeline. Loomis and Michael were believed to have died in the Memorial Hospital fire a decade ago. What returns to Haddonfield in '86 is not a man who survived. It's a shape called back by the town's fear, and it learns to cross media. The reel that slipped across. Open on black. Wind, then silence. A radio voice drifts over smashed jack-o'-lantern glass. 10 years since the Memorial Hospital fire claimed 14 lives, including Dr. Samuel Loomis and Michael Audrey Myers. Cut to a Haddonfield that pretends it's healed. Teen sketchbooks filled with the same blank white mask. A library shelf where Haunted America, the Trauma Towns, hides a blurred photo of that mask in motion. A police station where Sheriff Davenport keeps a board of evidence he'll never admit still matters. At Smith's Grove, Dr. Richard Stern scrolls microfilm and dismisses Loomis as a quack who demonized his patient to justify arson. Thesis of this version: the shape isn't just a killer, it's a social projection. Haddonfield's fear creates the aperture. Our protagonists aren't new blood relatives, but the kids who survived the first night, older now. Tommy Doyle, 17, gaunt, wired to the town's frequencies, and Lindsay Wallace, tougher, carrying the town's collective eye roll for ghost stories. They're our barometers. When they say the air changes, it does. Act 1. Signs in the Wind. Pumpkin lot set piece. Just outside the town line, a roadside stand with a proud sign. Welcome to Harding, home of Halloween. Orange fields like a sea. Teen Darcy wanders too deep as the wind rises. Pumpkins start tumbling as if the earth is vomiting autumn. Vines snag boots. We never see the full strike, just orange flesh and bright blood spattering the boards. Wide cut, the field still avalanching pumpkins after the body falls. Library omen. Lindsay flips the restricted book shut as Tommy arrives pale. Did you feel it? Like the air changed. He shows a sketch, tonight's exact pumpkin lot, and in the corner, barely visible, the shape. Rising. Police denial. At HQ, Deputy McCain reports teens smearing pig's blood on the Myers porch. Davenport refuses to make it a big case. It's their fear he feeds on, not ours. The station lights flicker. Smith's Grove, skeptic. Dr. Stern catalogs the trauma. Mass hysteria, not psychosis. He'll change his mind the hard way. School basement kill. Two pranksters, Kevin and Ray, descend with a flashlight for a dare. Boiler pipes moan. A metallic clang. The beam grazes something reflective, the edge of a knife. We don't linger on gore, we linger on absence. How the dark keeps what it wants. Vibe difference from our 1988 sequel. This H4 is dream logic horror. You feel the town conjuring him back. Act 2. The town calls and he answers. Myers house infestation. Ranger, a canine, darts through the ruined yard. Inside, Ranger bites down, shears off 3 of the shape's fingers. He doesn't scream. Green-black ichor sprays. Then we watch the unthinkable. New fingers grow, cartilage knitting in seconds, green hiss evaporating as flesh seals. When Deputy McCain finds Ranger's body outside, the severed fingers left on the grass are shriveling into ash. Davenport's bad night. The sheriff orders a perimeter around the house. The perimeter collapses. Radios break with breaths and whispers. The draft's sound design is a character. Basement rite. In a church basement, a circle of hooded townspeople gathers around a crude effigy. A grieving mother cuts her palm and lets blood drip into a hollowed pumpkin. They chant, "He lives, he lives, he lives." A gust kills half the candles. For a single strobing instant, the shape stands where the effigy was. When light returns, the effigy is gone. The group has no leader. The town itself is the cult. Tommy and Lindsay in hiding. In an old barn, they sit with the battery radio catching scraps. Curfew, missing persons, the whisper of panic. Something thumps the wall. Then again. Tommy reaches a pitchfork. Lindsay keeps his hand from shaking. Stern converts. The rationalist's office window is open. He hears the whisper, "The night, the night," and finally admits on tape, he wants us all, you, me, the whole damn town, from skeptic to co-witness. Act 3, The Breathing Town. Street panic, sirens, porch lights, parents screaming names into wind. This draft lets daylight and open space be scary. The shape is no longer a thing you spot. He's a rhythm you hear and a temperature drop in a doorway. Deputy McCain's last call. He radios in an officer down. The reply is breathing. He fires at shadows until his flashlight catches nothing where something should be. One of the best sound scare pages in the script, Tommy and Lindsay's run. They decide on a terrible, beautiful teenage logic. Leave town and the story can't keep you. They sprint through backyards, over fences, through wind-pressed laundry lines that become white masks flapping in their faces. Woods passage. The pages slow. Breath clouds. Birds stir as though life is returning behind them, while a crackle and distant breathing hangs far back, as if the town is exhaling the shape into pursuit. They make it to the car. The stinger, Lost River, found shape. Exterior, Lost River Drive-In, night. Flickering neon, the sign buzzes faintly. Tommy pulls up with Lindsay. Bruised, pale, they want out of the ghost story. "We survived a ghost story," Tommy says. "We deserve a dumb one." They park. On screen, a cheesy slasher, a final girl cornered. They slump into relief, a safe, fake horror. The final girl screams. And behind her stands Michael Myers. The screen flickers. Murmurs ripple through the lot. In car, Tommy and Lindsay sit up. On screen, Michael turns slowly and looks straight at us. The projector whirs. The speakers hum. The image grows, not a cut, a push. The knife lifts toward the audience, and he steps out of the movie, through the torn screen, into the drive-in, out of the screen. Crowds scream, doors slam, cars stall. Michael walks calmly through spilled popcorn and fallen bodies. Tommy grabs Lindsay's hand as they both stare at the ripped canvas. "Tommy, we brought him here." Knife up. Cut to black. Title burns in. The Shape of Fear. End. Coolest sequences. Pumpkin avalanche kill. An autumn nightmare. Tumbling gourds, snagging vines. Orange pulp plus red spray. Regenerating hand. Dog bite shears off fingers. Green ichor. Instant regrowth with cartilage knitting and hiss evaporation. Basement chant. Townspeople become the cult. Blood into a pumpkin. Half the candles go out. Effigy replaced by the shape. Sound as killer. Radios answer with breathing. The town's power and light behave like organs. Drive-in stinger. Arguably the franchise's coolest tag. Michael crosses media and finds a new story. Early draft versus final. What's different? Sharpened. This section is written for viewers who read the early Etchison material circulating in our world and want to understand what the recovered final tightens or reframes. No spoilers for scenes that were only in the early draft. Loomis is dead, not wandering. The final keeps Loomis dead, no late arrival or transfer gimmick. His absence makes the town's denial louder and the shape's return feel collective rather than personal. Tommy and Lindsay centered. The leaked draft sketched them. Here, they're the emotional spine and barometers of atmospheric change. The dialogue is leaner, the beats more purposeful. From cult plot to cultural ritual. Any explicit, organized cult language is softened into distributed ritual. The basement scene plays like a spontaneous folk rite, not a conspiracy. Stronger and creepier. Set-piece consolidation. Disparate scare beats are consolidated into fewer, punchier sequences. Pumpkin Lot, Library Omen, School Basement, Myers House K9, Basement Rite, Woods Run, Drive-In. The middle no longer wanders. Supernatural made text. The regenerating hand makes the shape's non-human status undeniable on screen, rather than hinted. It supports the thesis that he's a projection given body. Stinger placement and execution. The Lost River Drive-In tag is staged with page-level clarity. Michael looks at us and steps out. It's not a metaphor, it's a crossing. Sound design on the page. Radios, winds, and breathing are scripted as tactile cues. The final assumes an aggressive mix, turning the town into a character. Haddonfield as summoner. Fear, denial, morbid nostalgia. Each ritualizes the shape's return. The town is the medium. The children who remember. Tommy and Lindsay's refusal to forget becomes both curse and compass. Their belief lets them predict the pattern and also draws it. Myth learns new doors. Once fear can summon him, media can conduct him. That's the leap, from streets to screens. Why this echo matters. In our branch, 1988's Return of Michael Myers revived a profitable cycle. In the 1986 branch, The Shape of Fear tried something more dangerous. It made the killer a cultural function, then let him walk out of fiction. That stinger isn't just a scare, it's a metaphysical claim. If a town can keep retelling a story, the story can retell the town, and then retell us. For the Storybearer, this reel is a warning and a wonder. We carry these tapes between worlds so you can see the shapes we've made, and the shapes that make us in return. This has been Storybearer Theater. If you still hear breathing in the radio static tonight, you're not alone. Somewhere, the Lost River neon is buzzing, and a canvas screen is beginning to tear.